We are underway. We are underway. Col, before the call, you said about having a beer. I am on the Super Bock.
Superbach, yeah. I've
From
got a mixture.
Portuguese tonight.
I've got a mixture. Got a Madri and I've got a Cruise Campo. So mix it
Oh,
up. It's a bit unfair on Kurt because it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon where Kurt is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit early, just slightly. I'm not a huge drinker anyway. It's all right.
yeah. So I went to a beer festival at the weekend, Kate. I started at 9:15 in the morning, Saturday morning, 9:15. We have a chain of pubs over in the UK called Weatherspoons. They are incredibly cheap. So we started there with a breakfast, pint of Guinness, and that was the start of the day. So yeah, went to the Ship Mitre Whittle Beer Festival at Hume Hall, and it was a tremendous day, excellent day. So yeah, and I managed to not have a stinking hangover on the Sunday, which is an absolute miracle. So there we are.
Was it good? Was it good? Would you go again?
I've been probably about 6, 7 times now. That was the 20th one that they've done. They do it twice a year. Uh, I say over at Hume Hall, fantastic venue. You have live music, loads of food. The choice of beers is unbelievable. There must be in excess of 100 beers and stouts and ales and sours and all kinds that you can be after. Perry ciders, normal ciders, the lot. So yeah, definitely worth a go. And they had a tuck shop, which took us back to when we were in school. So yeah, you were able to get some old school crisp and sweets. So yeah, it was brilliant.
No, you're a regular there, then, aren't you? You've been 7 times.
Being loads, yeah, love
Walk,
it,
walk,
absolutely love
walking in. Morning, Paul. Usual.
it. It's 20 minutes on the train from Lime Street. You think it's miles away, and it really isn't. It
Yeah.
is superb. It's a good little Jolly Boys out, and then we ended up in Riley's Col, which you'll know well. Ended up in the snooker hall playing some snooker, pool, and darts. So yeah, it was all good.
I'm surprised you could play after being out from 9:15.
I could barely
But
see at that point.
spectate.
So enough about me. Enough about me. We're going to move on to Kate. Kate, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad the break is over because I really hate international breaks just in general. Um, but yeah, I'm doing fantastic.
Good, excellent. I mean, that was going to be one of my questions to you about the international break and a bit about your challenge. Do you avoid the international break, or is it something that you still dip into with the betting?
I very rarely dip into it betting wise because it's difficult to get numbers on international teams that are consistent because they change so often and they don't really play each other like super often. Like you get the qualifying thing and they play each other twice. It's two different teams every time it feels like. So I until the tournaments I tend to avoid the international stuff unless I really really like something or I know something in advance team wise or something like that.
Yeah, feels a bit too risky to dip into and yeah, make a bit of an unsound bet.
Yeah, like I Germany and Slovakia played the other day, and Slovakia needed to win that one, and it's like maybe they keep it tight early. They kept Germany off the board last time. Maybe a first half under, and I'm like, no, I can't. And then it's 4-0 at halftime, and like, uh, it's just better off avoiding for me.
Understood. So, how's your dollar to $1 million challenge going? Where are you up to this week?
Good. We're up to $1,237 at the moment, so it's moved quite a bit over the last couple weeks for whatever reason. Just on a hot streak, I guess.
Stuff, good stuff. And you recently got over the $1,000 mark. Has that changed your betting in any way? Have your patterns changed? Are you being more risk averse, or is it just carrying on as you were?
I've actually been more risky. I've upped the bet size a little bit. My original thought with the challenge was like, if I start with $1, I can kind of learn and get better as we go along and stuff. The first $1,000 has taken a while, but I think we're at a point now where the system works and everything I do works, so I can kind of up the risk a little bit. I'm a risk averse person just naturally, and like the way I was betting was leaving money on the table, I guess is the best way to put it. I was probably betting too little.
Yeah, it's been a bit conservative, but yeah, upping the risk factor. No risk, no reward, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And if it's going to keep going up, which it has been, the more you bet, the quicker it goes, as long as it doesn't fall back at any stage.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what's your hot picks for this week then? What have we got?
I've got 3, and then I'll do a accumulator for you guys also. Um, First one was Arsenal win to 0. Tottenham started really well, and then they were scoring goals without really creating much of anything. I just don't know how they go on the road and create a ton here. I don't think they create many chances in general. And Arsenal are risk averse of their own. And I don't particularly love the way Tottenham are playing. I don't think they're creating much, and I like Arsenal to win the game. And I don't think Tottenham find a way to score. Tottenham create a lot on set pieces. Tottenham create a lot on the break. Arsenal kind of prevent goals in both of those scenarios. So Arsenal win to 0. And then these two are kind of heavy juicy, but Fulham double chance parlayed with under 3.5. I think there's a point where Sunderland kind of fall off a little bit, and away from home against a Fulham team that don't concede goals much, I think it'd be tough for them to go out and win this one outright. And then the other part under 3.5, again, I think they kind of fall back a little bit goal scoring wise. They've done really well in their finishing. They've done really well scoring in positions that not a lot of people score from, and they're overperforming quite a bit offensively. And I think that can come down a little bit. And Fulham just don't score a ton as it is. And then the last one, or the second last one, Newcastle team total under 1.5 is kind of heavy, but they just have a really tough time scoring on City for the most part. City tend to kind of eat their system up a little bit. And you think of Newcastle and you think of a team that kind of has a go with some of the big teams, and they're good defensively and they keep games tight. For whatever reason, City just have found a way to keep them from scoring goals. Newcastle haven't scored a ton of goals this year. They're getting a little bit better, and Walter Mate is kind of finding his feet and has found his feet pretty quickly, but I have a hard time seeing them score multiple here. And then the last one, just for fun, this one's an accumulator. There's 3 of them here. Fulham draw no bet, United and Everton, both teams to score, and then Leeds and Villa to finish in a draw, 7-1, as a small fun one.
Excellent stuff. And I think you're right. You mentioned there about Sunderland's. They've had a cracking start, but yeah, I think that's probably going to dry up. I think they've probably gone further than what we thought with the good start that they've had.
Yeah, they've started really well, and they're a lot better than I thought they were going to be. I think a lot of their new signings across the back 7 or 8 are really good. Like, they're built for the Premier League. They're big, tough guys. They're difficult to bypass just defensively, and I think that gives them like a good floor. Offensively, again, I think they've kind of they're overperforming a little bit, and again, they're finishing well, and that's all great and stuff. But in terms of predicting their future stuff, most of that time that kind of falls back just slightly.
Good shout. Col, how does Thibaut stack up against Kurt Iain?
Yeah, so he's been, I think, different teams. I missed the last 2 on that, so he can't make it tonight. So he sent me a text message, and he's put on the text message from his £50 from his, what did he call it? He called it his Tibbington Express, didn't he, when we asked him to do a bet and trade? He called it the Tibbington Express. He's done 2 separate bets. He went from £50 down to 34. So he's messaged, I've got £34 left. So I've done a double for the weekend. It's an absolute banker, he's put, Kurt. So what do you make of this? So he's done Chelsea away to Burnley, and he's going to go Palace away to Wolves, and at £34 returns 101.
I thought about some Chelsea. I think Burnley are the worst team in the league by a bit, just open play wise. And Chelsea love these games where they're like Burnley will have a go because they think they can score here, and Chelsea love that stuff. They're just going to run up and down. Chelsea are so much better when they don't play Maresca's system, which is so funny to me. So when the game opens up and they can just be themselves and not have to worry too much about what the manager's saying, they're a little bit better that way, I find. And Palace are just they're tough, playing well. Wolves just can't score goals. They just and anytime they do score a goal, they give up three. So they're a bit of a mess right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I mean, that Wolves forward, what Newcastle tried to buy for 70, 80 million. I'm not too sure what they've seen for 70, 80 million pounds for me.
Yeah, I was really surprised by the number when it first popped up. I wasn't surprised they went for a player like that because I think he's okay. And he's more, I don't think he's a starter option at a player at a level like that, but as a second forward, that's fine. But then you read some of the numbers, 60, 70 million, whatever they were going to pay. I was like, a bit different. It's a different thing
I,
completely. Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit desperate in the thing, but maybe there's a player in there, not too sure. But yeah, that would be Thibaut's bets. I suppose what one thing I'll ask very quick, Kurt, do you factor into the betting anything like referees or anything like that into your models, or are they just completely out the equation because you don't know who's going to referee a match, and does it have any kind of impact?
But most of the time, no. But there are certain referees, like if you like a game to be open and you get a referee who likes to call a ton of niggly fouls and things like that, then that makes you rethink stuff. But most referees tend to be in the same vein and tend to kind of referee the game as it starts mostly. Sometimes games start, guys are just at each other's necks pretty quickly. Sometimes games start and there's no contact for 10 minutes and then the game's just a little bit more free flowing. And then sometimes you get games where uh, at the beginning there's a heavy challenge and the ref says we're just going to let these go today, and then the game becomes a little bit more open and there's less niggly fouls and things like that. So a lot of time the referee stuff depends on how the game starts, but there are a few refs here and there who kind of affect your thoughts on a game.
No, good
Col,
stuff.
yeah, and Col, I think we know all too well. Michael Oliver, referee in Liverpool, means Liverpool have a far worse win percentage than other referees. So definitely want to consider in your betting in future, Kate.
Every time we find out he's refereeing a Liverpool game, I see those things all the time. Liverpool have won like only 30% of games he's refed in, and you get like those weird feelings like when something like that pops up and you're watching, and then you get you know a something that happens and you're like, what? Where's the thought process there, and why is it always this guy? Like it just the game the other day when we played City and that goal went in and then they discounted it. Like those seem to always happen with the same sets of referees. Doesn't matter like which team you're a part of. There's always one or two people who are always like, why is it always weird decisions this group? And it just seems to pile on itself.
There was a clip on Sky, Howard Webb, wasn't he, comparing the Liverpool goal and the Man City goal, and I was watching it. I just couldn't believe his explanation when he was trying to explain why the City goal was given out was similar with Bernardo Silva and the Liverpool wasn't. He was trying to justify it, and I thought, you're listening to me, and I don't even think he believes what he's saying. So it's a little bit dubious to say the least, I think.
Also, so there's this thing that happens here in American football sometimes, like specific games, where you get to listen in on what they're saying through the television when they're going back through and you get to hear what they're talking about and what their thought process is as it's happening, which is cool. And a lot of what happens in England, like in the English football with the referees, is like, my thought is, I really want to know what they're saying just to kind of see what their thoughts are. And then sometimes Webb will come out or somebody will come out and talk, and I'm like, maybe if I hear them speak through it, I'll be more angry because I don't understand how you could even come to that conclusion just in general. Like, there's 6 or 7 professional refs talking through this play, and you're all objectively wrong. Like I think it'd bug me even more if I heard them speak on it. I would prefer that they were wrong and just stay quiet. I don't want to hear your explanation. It's most of the time it's dreadful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, mate.
Yeah, I think we've alluded to it a lot on this podcast in the past. Like you say there, Kurt, even if they were wrong, as long as they're consistently wrong, you know where you're working and you know how to factor it in future. But it's the complete opposite ends of the scale, which just kind of muddy the waters. There was an interesting one talking about referees and Liverpool and Michael Oliver and so on. One of the other podcasts with Paul Scholes and Jamie Carragher, and Mike Dean's been on it, ex Premier League referee, saying how whenever they played Arsenal, for whatever reason, Arsenal always got beat whenever Mike Dean was the referee. And it really got into Arsene Wenger's head. So Arsene Wenger, as soon as he knew Mike Dean was the referee, it was almost like a write-off of a game. And Mike Dean's been told this through some of the staff that worked there at the time. And it really, really paints a picture about how a certain referee can get in the team's head and even the manager's head and really ruin almost like a potential for a win. So yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Ian, any bets from yourself?
I'm doing a very small. I started off with a tenner. I'm up to 18 quid, so I'm the last of big spenders. But there's a guy on socials who does like free tips occasionally on horses. So I've just been doing a couple of them, mate. But I do like it. I think Sweden let me down last night. Slovenia beat him, so I thought Sweden decent strike force, probably I will beat him, but obviously didn't. So yeah,
That Mr. Potter doing well.
Exactly. Talked about him before, haven't we? So
We
I like
have,
Graham
we
Potter
have.
as well. I love his story, the way obviously he was at Leeds Uni doing football and then went to Sweden, done really well. So yeah, let me down a few quid.
So you segued me in there well, Ian, to be honest. Before we go on to music,
Yeah,
Brookvale Albion, I've heard on the grapevine there was a sending off, and it wasn't just for a player on the pitch.
No, mate. Honestly, I don't know. Well, it was like start of all, it was on a 3G pitch, which I hate because it's like a bloody cage and it's crap, and players always seem to get injured. The referee was only a young lad. He didn't even have proper ref gear on, and basically, the ball goes over their strikers about. We can all see 2 or 3 yards off. Our 2 centre defenders have stopped. The keeper's stopped. He's just gone around the keeper and tucked it in. And the refs give the goal. Oh, mate, I lost it with him. Like, I called him an effing joke and he's ruined the game and all that sort of stuff, and then just got a straight red for it. But to be fair to him, he's not done the paperwork on it, I don't think.
So he saved your skin.
He saved me 45 quid in a 3-match ban. So that's good. But then he also sent one of our other players off with 2 yellows. The first yellow wasn't even that player. So, and the guy who was the yellow, we went, ref, it was me. And he went, no, it wasn't. It was him. He said, no, it was definitely me. Because they sort of like collided and then my other player took him out or something. So, yeah. So he got 2 yellows, but I don't think he's put it through. And then they scored a deflected goal in the last minute when we were down to 10 men. So we'd lost 2 on the bounce, which was the first time all season, which was still 3 points off top with the game in hand, but back to back games was against the same team, home and then away in the cup. I was looking at they're called Horwich Town. I was looking at their player list and they've got Ben Thornley on there. I'm a bit older than you guys, but no, remember Ben Thornley? He played for United. He's got a brother called Rod, but both of them played for Witton Albion at one point. So I don't know if it's the same Ben Thornley or not. But I think he went from United to Huddersfield. But he was part of that, that generation of United players. So I'm hoping it's not the same guy because even though he's probably the same age as me, he'd still be decent, I imagine.
Playing against that Withens your side with all the ex-pros.
I could do with one of them on a Sunday, mate. Yeah, especially that Cisse. He scored 7 the other day, didn't he? So
yeah. Col, did you want to come in?
Yeah, Ian. What I want to know is where did he send you? Did you say it was a cage? Did he send you?
Yeah. So basically, I had to
at the cage.
So he said you have to. This is what he said as well. It really pissed me off. He says, "If you don't go behind the fence, the game will be abandoned." I'm like, "Grow up, mate. Come on." even their gaffer was like, "Well, he could just give you a warning." The opposition's gaffer could have given you a warning or a yellow card. And so at half time, I walked up to him and come back in and said, "Look, mate, apologise for swearing at you, but said 3 of our players have stopped because you can all see he was well off. And if he gives a goal, he's just ruined the game."
It's a fad thing, this, isn't it? You know when you want, obviously he's watching referees on the telly send managers to the stands, isn't he?
Yeah,
so then he's trying to mirror that now as a young referee. If you go back 10, 15 years ago, you couldn't send a manager anywhere, could you? Of a Sunday league, you couldn't send them back to car or anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit. It just shows you what happens in the Premiership filters down, doesn't it?
It does. You know, he's getting paid 50 quid. I get it's a tough job, I really do. But you know, when we can all see that he's offside, he's just give it. And then he got the 2 yellows the wrong. Even we could all see it was the wrong play. Even their opposition was laughing because he nearly put the wrong player. So,
I wonder whether Joel's ever sent a manager off.
Of all the weeks he's not on, this would have been perfect, and he would have grilled you, Ian. It would have been fantastic.
The thing is, if I called him a CUNT or a try or something, yeah, fair enough. But I didn't. I just said you ruined in game, you know. And he has, because at that point we were on top, and then we got an equaliser. Alfie, our centre back, got his first goal this season, and steamed in at the back post. And you know, thought, game on, I'll take a point here with 10 men, and then they get a last minute. They literally rolled over the line at like in snail's pace because our keeper had already dived and it had gone the opposite way. So, well, I said in the changing room, I can sort of feel how football managers feel now because they just want the next game to come. I wish we had a game on Tuesday or Wednesday night, but we don't. We have to wait till this Sunday. But we're back at home on proper grass pitch, none of this 3G bollocks. So
none of this Luton Kenilworth Road bollocks.
Oh yeah, exactly. Horrible, mate. But yeah, no injuries, I don't think. Oh yeah, that was another one of the players got studs all down his shin. Pulls his sock down low, stud man. Didn't give anything, not even a free kick. So you wonder why refs get a bad rep. It's like the guy's showing you his injury off what they're a player. Still nothing.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for Sunday, and Brookvale get back on the points and move forward.
Mate, it ruins my. It takes me till about Wednesday to get over it, mate. When we get,
I can tell. You still look crestfallen.
Oh, mate, it's just that last minute goal killed me. Yeah, we didn't even go to the pub after. Just straight home.
God, that would have been issues to go to the pub, I would have thought.
Well, yeah, everyone was pissed off, mate. Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So enough of the hearty. Hopefully, Brookvale get back into winning ways of the weekend. Music-wise, what have you got for us this weekend?
Do you know what? Right, this is really old school, but I heard of a band this week, and they haven't even got any social media. A few people have mentioned this band to me. I was thinking, this is proper old school, word of mouth. They're called Domino's Face or Domino Face, something like that. But basically, people say, "Oh, you need to check this band out." So I can't find anything. There's nothing online. So I think they just played maybe 1 or 2 gigs, and people have talked about them, blah blah blah. So if I hear anything, obviously, I like when bands do that though. Instead of just plastering, just going straight into social media, they've obviously got people talking about them. So if I can find anything about them, I will do. But yeah, no, as always, I try and pick 2 bands. I picked a really established band called the Heavy North. They've had a bit of a lineup change. One of the members, they're from Liverpool, but one of the members lives in Runcorn. I see him out walking or jogging or whatever he does. But they've got some great tunes. They've got 2 albums out. One of my favourite tunes is The Genie by them. But the lead singer, Kenny, his voice is unreal. It's very bluesy. Black Keys, Kings of Leon type. Also plays the harmonica as well. I think he is actually named after Kenny Dalglish because his dad's a big Liverpool fan. So his name's Kenny. But yeah, his dad's cool as well. Football, casual attire like myself on a Saturday afternoon. So yeah, he's a good guy. Heavy North. The reason why I mentioned him is they're playing in the new venue at the Baltic Triangle called the Arc on December the 5th. So definitely worth checking out. There's a couple of bands on there which I've not heard of, which I will check out. They are called the Savage Hearts and the Cubicle. And that's December the 5th at the Archive, which is at Kane's Brewery. Tickets are available at theheavynorth.com. Yeah, really good band. Hopefully I'll get there myself.
Good stuff.
And then the other
I think-
band I picked out was another brand new band, but they have got some tunes. They're called Imaginary Husband, and they've got a tune called It's the Little Things to remind me of Fontaine's DC, Arctic Monkeys, that sort of thing. So, but yeah, they just had a gig last weekend in Leeds, but hopefully they'll be coming over the big hill to this side of the Pennines, and I'll get to see them live. But it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think they're really good. So there's me 2 picks for this week.
Good stuff. I think we've had the Heavy Note on before. They are on our playlist already.
Oh, are they? Sorry, mate. Yeah, I must have missed
No,
that.
it's a good shout. Listen,
Yeah.
anything we can do to help and promote.
I just thought when they got that gig on the 5th of December, it's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we'll do is, by the time the pod goes out, the songs that you mentioned and the artists will be on the playlist. So we'll put a little widget on to show you how you can access it using your smart devices. You've also got a gig in the Jacaranda next week.
We have, yes, November 28th, which is a week Friday, I think. So we've got 3210s, another band that we've talked about before. Awesome band. A band called Cambio Mesa from Chester. They're a really good band. They're very psychedelic. And then a band from Manchester called The Panel. They're making their software debut, so it's 3 bands. I think 3210s will probably do towards an hour's set. So looking forward to that one. Probably go for a pint in the dispensary afterwards just to treat myself. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. We've sold a few tickets already, which is good. It's only £7 on the door, so Jacaranda 28th of November, and then we've got one also Jacaranda December 20th as well. So we'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks. I've got a couple of bands sorted for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And Col, I think we're going to be making an appearance on the 28th, aren't we?
Yeah, Ian popped up in the group, didn't he? So yeah, I think we'll go down and have a couple Ian. Absolutely, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a decent ale selection in Jacaranda. It's not bad.
Yeah. I'll bring the pre-match mix t-shirts for you.
Yeah, no problem, mate. We need some stickers as well, by the way.
Yeah.
I've still got a load of Saflad ones. I've got that many.
Hey, maybe we get a mask for Kurt. We'll have to get a mask for Kurt because obviously he's over in the US, and we'll get someone just to wear the mask and take Kurt around Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll get him on FaceTime and we'll just take him round.
Yeah.
There's still a few pubs around that neck of the woods I've still not tried, but there's a Spanish Caravan. I keep putting off going there. I want to go there, and Red Lion still not been that one either. So
Spanish Caravan is absolutely mustard. The Red Lion's all right. I quite like up on Hope Street Ways. There's the Engineer, which is round the back of, I'm sure it's the White Hart, and that's a good little boozer, little cozy type boozer, roaring fire, little mezzanine in the middle as well, combining the 2 boozers. So yeah, what Spanish Caravan, the one in Prescott's really good as well.
Oh, there's one there, is there?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Prescott's up and coming, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah, some good boozers up there. We went up to Cables earlier this season.
Yeah.
Went up to see Cables. They got a 1-0 win. So yeah, they were next on the list, and I think the next one on our list will probably be something like had to be Tranmere, possibly Marie, and like yourself, we're going to be planning a European away. So we're just umming and ahhing as to what that will be.
Ian, Jam for that, Paul.
Mate,
absolutely.
Tinno's Tours will look after you. 5-star review every time. Slowly ticking off European countries. I've got a few in my head that I want to do. I'm part of a UK Como supporters group on WhatsApp, so they kindly sent me a pin badge, like an Adidas Gazelle thing. So that's
brilliant.
Kind of them. Well, yeah, no. You've seen that guy that goes around social media, Simon Squibb. He says, "Have you got a dream?" And he talks about what you're going to do and stuff.
Well, funny enough, I read something on him last night. We had just said that where I read something. So you'll tell me if I'm right or wrong because I'm the wrong person here. Where in his youth he had an argument with his mum or dad when he was 15. He left house and he lived under a set of stairs for all the worth. And then when he was old and got a bit of money, there was a block with these stairs for sale, what no one would buy. And he went to an auction, he bid, and the bidding went up and he bought it. And apparently, I think he put it was full of rubbish and stuff. He cleared it out. I don't know if he put a door on there. And part of the social media was people would come up, ring the bell, and tell them what the dream was, and he'd sometimes fund it, whatever their dream was. Is that the right guy?
Mate. Really good guy, mate. Yeah, he's a millionaire, but I think he's, like you say, fell out with his parents, moved out, became homeless, and that sort of thing. But if he stopped me in the street, that would be it. Yeah, European football company. It's organising trips. There's a guy on socials, it's like Calcio B or something, but he basically specialises in Serie B games. But if you go down to like Serie D, the atmosphere is class. I'd highly recommend going to watch any Italian football and German football as well. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know when you go in. I'll sort you out some not tickets, but I'll sort you out an itinerary.
I'll send you an invite as well. You'll be more than welcome to come. So,
mate, please do, man. Please do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Kurt, we're talking about, random European away trips where we can do these things and go and see in some second, third, fourth division team. Is there anything like this in America? Anyone on the scene decides to go and watch some, random college football halfway across the country?
Yeah, it depends on where you live, because there are plenty of places that don't. Like, there's a chunk of the country in the north, right toward, not all the way on the coast, but in the north there's like nothing for like 500 miles anyway. No sports, no nothing. You could be in a place like where I'm at, like I get like second tier hockey and basketball and stuff around me. Like 10 minutes away, I can go watch, like, the New York Rangers are a professional hockey team. Their second team is like 10 minutes away from me. There are a couple of them nearby, but not to the extent I guess you guys have either.
We're lucky in the European sense. I know I'm going to give me allegiance here, So Boston, here we go, the Red Sox. I went to see the Red Sox in 2019, and they were playing the Astros. And this is how mental some of the baseball fans were. Guy sat next to us, he was an Astros fan. He'd flown in that day, flew 8 hours, flew in that day. He had flip-flops on, he had shorts on, he had a t-shirt. He was there for the game, and he was flying back immediately after. I was like, are you insane? Are you mental? And he was like, just love the game. Here we go.
Wow.
That's a trip. I don't think I've done that. We went to a college football game a couple weeks ago, and we drove 6 hours there and 6 hours back after the game. But I guess it's very similar, actually. But the gaps are extensive. Like even if I wanted to go see the team that's closest to me, it's like an hour, 2 hour drive, or 2.5 hour drive there, 2.5 hour drive back after the game. So it all depends. But yeah, that's also expensive. You flying round trip for a baseball game. Then baseball games there are 100. You get 80 of them at home every year. 80 of them on the road. That bit extensive, I think, that one in particular.
Yeah, definitely. I think for us at a 6 hour there and back in a day, it'd be far too much up in the UK. I know. Look, I'm really lucky. I've got Anfield 20 minutes away for me, so it's something right on my doorstep. But I think for us, 3 hours away, you've got London. You're in the capital. You're probably watching a final and stuff like that. But yeah, 6 hours, wowzer, or 12-hour round trip. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, it's a lot. I live about 2 hours from Fenway, and I'm a bit lucky in that anytime Liverpool come over here, they play there because the Red Sox own the group. So I've seen Liverpool for 4 or 5 times total, which is nice because I haven't been to England to go watch them there or anything, but I've been able to sit and watch them, which is nice. But yeah, it's if you don't live directly in a city with any of that, it's a ton of travel, like at any stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, we've been talking about internationals and all the qualifiers going on. Are you going to try and get to any of the World Cup games next year, Kurt?
Yeah, I'm gonna try the system they set up for like the early buying of tickets and stuff. I mean, I have no idea what to do with that. It was like I signed up to like get emailed, hoping to get like an early ticket anywhere with like 4 or 5 different people, and one of them got through after the draw, and then you have to pay like $300 to like save your seat. You're not even paying $300 for like the ticket or tickets or anything. You're genuinely paying 300 to save your seat to buy tickets after the fact. And I'm like, hopefully, because I saw some of the prices too, and I was like, man, that's expensive for me. And if it's expensive for me, I know it's expensive for you guys, because like going to like a regular, like we went to that college football game, it was like $300 for a ticket to sit a little bit further back. And I know the whole ticketing system over there or whatever. So if it was expensive for me, I know it's expensive for everybody. I'm kind of just hoping it's like the Club World Cup and the tickets just continue to drop in price and maybe we'll get lucky and stuff. But I have a venue like an hour and a half from me that's playing like 5, 6 games. I'm just hoping that the prices drop a little bit. Like you don't know any of the games and stuff. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm hoping to, but we'll see.
Just to go back on what you mentioned there, you said about the college game, $300. Is that per ticket or was that for the group?
It was me and my buddy went, and it was per ticket. And I know I know it's very expensive, but it's like you get 12 games in college football, 6 at home, and there aren't a ton of really good teams, and it was like one of those special occasion things. So it was a little bit over the top, but I guess if I were going to like a regular NFL game, like just a regular in-season game, it'd probably be 100 to 125 ish to sit a little bit further back, I guess. But yeah, it's way more expensive over here. Like I think we talked about it last time. Like Arsenal season tickets or whatever. I don't know how much it's like. It was between like 8 and 900 or whatever. You get like 30 something games. You get Champions League games, whatever. That's like me going to 5 regular games of my choice here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we moan about ticket prices, but sometimes when you can weigh it up, though I got to see Real Madrid and that was like £59. So it's not huge amounts. Obviously, as you start getting to finals, that's where it gets a bit silly. But yeah, it's all relative to scale and what you enjoy, I guess.
I don't spend my money on anything else, so I do wish I'd lived close enough where I could go like every week. Like I could just kind of like walk on over, 10-minute drive on over. I'd do that in a heartbeat, but not close to anything.
Well, Kurt, the plan is you get to $1 million by next year. You're just in time for the World Cup, and you're in the premium seat next to Infantino and Trump. That's the idea.
Exactly.
Ian, Col, and you want to add?
Just talking about football, my team, Witton Albion, are playing Bury on Saturday, which is we're expecting about 500-600 away fans, which is a very rare occasion. For example, we played Bootle on Saturday, and they brought about 20 fans. So, obviously, they folded, or they went tits up, didn't they, about 4 or 5 years ago? They had to start at Northwest Counties, Div 1, I think. So, no, Northwest Counties Div 1. So they went 2 leagues, and now they're in Albion's league. So that's only £12. But looking forward to that one. Should be good. No matter. Do you know what really pisses me off though? What I call the fair weather Boxing Day fans will turn up for this one, but you won't see him for the rest of the season. That's what fucking annoys me, mate. So
I guess the catch is, and 2 things. My cousin plays for Bootle, Anthony Miley.
Don't know.
He played for Marine and he played Tottenham.
Oh,
He was
nice.
in that game. So yeah, he's been playing for Bootle for the last couple of seasons. And as you rightly say, the Boxing Day fair weather fans. There's only 1 game on Boxing Day this year in the Premier League. That's quite controversial, and that has not gone down well amongst many fans I've spoken to.
Yeah. I'll be at Albion. Don't miss that one. I think we've got Nantwich that day. It's local derby. So
Yeah, Liverpool got Leeds the day after. I'm going to be definitely trying to get to that one. But yeah, I love a Boxing Day game. I love a New Year's Day game. But again, it's a lot of the games not happening those days. So yeah, obviously TV and all that keeper.
yeah. But no, that's where I'll be Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Stuff. Col, and you want to add?
No, great lads. I suppose the only thing to think of, this will go out on the Friday, so Liverpool have got Forest on the Saturday. My probably question to you guys would be, as Liverpool fans, he seems to have caved under a little bit of pressure and put Robinson back in. Would you change anyone else? Because he's got a set team at the moment, slot, hasn't he, which hasn't been doing too well. Would you bring anyone else in for tomorrow's game against Forest?
Gomez. Controversial, but
who for Canate?
Canate.
Yeah, I'd do the same. I agree with you. I'd also go as far as considering putting Chiesa in for Salah, as mad as that sounds as well.
No, do it, yeah.
I think what is it? The definition of insanity. He's trying the same thing over and over again, isn't it? Getting the same results or whatever. He seems to. I mean, Salah's went miles off the ball, hasn't he, this season?
I would rather than bring Chiesa in, I'd rather play Wirtz there, bring Gakpo in, because I don't think Gakpo's done much wrong this season. He scored again midweek for Netherlands, should say. Sorry. I feel dropping Gakpo and not having Wirtz in that side will just give a bit of an added dimension and might just free up Wirtz a bit. I think Wirtz has got a bit of a better foil with Bradley in that sense, and Wirtz might be used to that because he's been used to that at Leverkusen with Frimpong a bit in the overlap as well, and he can play both flanks when he was up over there. I agree with the Salah shout. Since the start of the season, he's not been doing great. I guess on the flip side, you say Salah is always in the game, but Canate is just stinking the place out. City game, taking our own players out. He just seems completely lost at this moment in time. And I think Gomez, as much as we and ah about him, he might just offer a bit of stability. So, sorry, Ian.
No, that's fine, mate. I was just thinking about the time when Brendan Rodgers dropped Gerrard. And people were like, oh, you can't drop Steven Gerrard, but in some games we actually played better without him. So, similar sort of situation.
The only issue you might have with Wirtz and Gakpo is they both seem to play the best football in the same position, playing off the left. Wirtz for Leverkusen played a lot of his best stuff off the left, and now he seems to have made his mind up now that he bought him to play a bit of an experimental role, didn't he? Center mid, even though he hadn't played there, which is mad, spending 120 million. And he seems to have pushed him a bit more left now. But again, you've got two players for one position now, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think, with the right-hand side, I say he's got Bradley on the overlap. He'll potentially have Frimpong. If we are going to adapt in how we're playing and bring Isak into the team and give him that chance, Isak, he's a striker. He wants the ball coming into him. He wants to make sure he's attacking it. I just think that might just give you a bit more chance to get the crosses in at that point with accurate balls. Obviously, with having both either him or Gakpo, we know Gakpo likes to cut in onto his right. That's what he does, and there's very little you can do to stop it, even though you know exactly what he's doing. But with Wirtz, you've got the option where he can go left or over on the right hand side. You can cut in on the left, or you can keep it on the right, and either side's comfortable. So I don't know. Look, we'll see what the team says on
It'll be interesting starting now, won't it, to see it?
Yeah, absolutely. Kurt, you got any thoughts or observations on Liverpool?
Yeah, I don't disagree with Canate. My problem with Canate is I think he's just distracted, similar to kind of how Trent was last year. And I don't think that necessarily means he's leaving or anything like that. I just think it's, as a player, when you're a big player and you've got 3 or 4 big clubs around and you're at a big club, and I imagine that just weighs on you as it kind of gets dragged out a little bit. But he hasn't played well all year, and he's just been dreadful. And Gomez is someone I don't want in the team as over an extended period of time, but Gomez does come into the team for those one-offs, and he plays really, really well seemingly in those one-offs, so I don't have a problem with the Gomez stuff. For the left, I'd prefer to see Wirtz than Gakpo, but I don't know, whatever you want. But I do want to see Ekitike play. I think Ekitike is playing really well, and I just love watching him play too. But I think he's playing really well. his hold up play and the runs he makes from midfield seemingly are really great, and the link up play in midfield is really good. And it's not, it's not Roberto Firmino, but it's like he can make all those link up plays and do all those things and also have the athleticism to run in behind and carry the ball, and he can carry it out left, he can carry it through the middle. If Ishak is not ready, or even if Ishak is ready, I still kind of want to see Ekitike start the game at least.
Yeah, I think a few of us have already said Ekitike's done very little wrong in his start to his Liverpool career. So yeah, we'll see what that pans out. So yeah, let's see what happens Saturday. You never know.
I've just got
Gents,
one more thing.
Go on, Ian.
Just a podcast recommendation. It's on YouTube. It's called Open Goal. But the guy who runs it, or there's three guys who runs it, he's been to, because it's based in Scotland, so they've been to watch Lennon Miller play in Udinese. A guy from Hearts who went from Hearts to AKA Athens. He went to watch Napoli win the league with Scott McTominay and Billy, what's his name? Can't be the guy who was with Chelsea, and they went to
Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, went to so he does all these like vlogs, but honestly, the Greek one is, and he went to San Paolo last year, which is highly recommended. If you ever go in there, let me know. But yeah, have a watch. The AK Athens one is just class. He's so funny, it's unreal. So yeah,
good show. Always willing to try other podcasts and support them as well at the same time. So yeah, good show too.
Yeah, right. Have a good one.
Cool,
man.
Gents. Always a pleasure.
Peace and love, and
cheers, boys.
See you next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Nice one, lads.
Bye bye.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds to plot destruction, disaster after construction. In the field of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind.